This clip's brought to you by ServiceNow. AI is only as powerful as the platform it's built on. With the ServiceNow AI platform, your AI, data, and workflows all work together, connecting every corner of your business. To see how you can put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com/AI-agents. All right, welcome back to Served, brought to you by ServiceNow. As promised, the phenomenon, the pride of the Philippines, up to a career-high ranking this week of 29 in the world, back where it all started a year ago, or at least where we got to know her in professional tennis. Alex Eala, welcome to Served.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for having me.
It's so great to have you. Now, I want to start with, obviously, there's this epic rise, and I want to get to your world and how kind of you see it from you looking out at the fans that we're seeing that are coming to watch you. It's just all so fascinating. And congratulations on the last year. It's been so much fun to watch. But I kind of want to go back, right? Because it's, as sports fans, sometimes we kind of get caught up and we think things have been like this forever, right? But it was a year ago. Walk us back a year ago, like 4 days before the Miami event, right? And then could you have imagined at that moment, take away the year and everything that's happened since, but even just that tournament, beating 3 former major winners, including the woman who had just won the last major and an all-time great in Iga Świątek. Just kind of walk us through the progression of that tournament.
I have to say that week was probably the craziest week of my life. I came into the tournament around ranked 140. I was a wild card, and I was obviously super looking forward to Miami Open. Just because it's when you're playing in the ITF circuit, having a wild card into a 1000 is a highlight event. So it kind of highlights your year. So every year I was lucky enough and fortunate enough to have gotten the Miami wild card. So it would be like a highlight for every single one of my years. So that was no different. I came into it super excited, of course, wanting to do well, and I hadn't really had a lot of success in my previous Miami runs. So yeah, safe to say it was a big surprise for me.
And walk us through kind of that progression, because listen, you're 140, which means you're not getting direct entry, but every person 140 in the world knows how to play this game. Just for our listeners, you are a professional player. You're not overawed by just being in a tournament. But then you run up against people who have won slams, and then you start beating them. Did you feel, kind of the confidence building, and then kind of when you've done it once, did that make it easier after you beat Ostapenko? Does it make it easier when you come up against a Maddie, and then so on and so forth, and then all of a sudden, the legend Iga?
No, I don't think that it makes it easier. Every single match is so tough, and now that I've been in the circuit for longer than I was, I'm realizing that even more. It doesn't matter what rank the other player is, right? And I guess my run and the breakouts of so many other young WTA players is a testament to that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but for me it almost got even harder in regard to that Miami run, because of course you got Ostapenko. Like, never mind that the rankings were getting better, but as you go deeper in the tournament, you get a little bit more nervous because the round has a little higher stakes. You're a little bit more tired because you have more load from the matches. So circumstances become a little bit more difficult. But then, of course, as the tiredness is heightened, so is the pressure, but so is the motivation. And I think every round I just got more and more motivated.
When you were playing these smaller events, I'm sure you had your fans, but I'm also sure it's nothing like what it is now. I mean, it's really, you know this. I mean, it's a phenomenon when you play these tournaments. When did you realize you were representing more than yourself, that this really had a symbolic dimension to it? And how did you mediate that? I mean, how did you sort of process the fact that you weren't just a tennis player, you were representing something much bigger?
I think I was fortunate enough to, even though after Miami it was kind of a breakout, and I got a lot more exposure and attention after that specific tournament, I would consider myself fortunate enough to have been exposed to a certain level of kind of fame or being well known. Even when I was in the ITF circuit, I think if I had compared the fans I had or the people that would come to watch my matches compared to other people my rank, even at 150, was a little bit more. Definitely nothing compared to now. I think that this year, 2026, the start of the season was when I seriously noticed that it was coming. Like the people were really coming. They were buying tickets. They were taking time out of their day, and it's wow. It's in the first couple of weeks. So I would say Auckland, Australia, and Manila was really a lot, especially Australia and Manila, Melbourne. My match in Melbourne was I was like at a loss for words when I saw the videos after my match. I didn't see them during or before. I was kind of just in the zone. But I saw a couple clips of the lines and the people, and I was really like surprised. And it's hard to. I think I was a little in denial. It's hard to accept or like really see yourself being someone with that much influence or that much impact just because I've been myself my whole life and nothing changed from in terms of who I am from 2025 to 2026. It's just that my success kind of skyrocketed, which I'm very thankful for. So yeah, after I kind of broke that barrier of like not accepting like, oh, I don't think I'm really famous. Every week they just kept coming and I was like, okay, you have to accept it, absorb it. You're here. It's a really good position. And I started to just be so grateful and because I don't know how long this is gonna last either. I don't know if it's if it's gonna be forever. It's definitely not gonna be forever. So I try to enjoy as much as I can while it's happening.
I have so many questions that I've jotted down just during that answer. But the thing that I didn't really no this is great. I'm endlessly curious about this. But you said you kind of made mention to when you were 150, it felt like you still had a following, a fan base, people who were curious from your country. Now, I like as far as lived experience goes, I can say pretty certain that doesn't happen for most people, right? Like that's not normal. Can you talk about the connectivity between you and what you're doing and the way that the Philippines is now relating to tennis? And what is that relationship? What's the attraction both ways? Because it feels like you're super appreciative of it, but then it feels kind of like a give and take relationship as opposed to, you're lucky to come see me.
Oh, that's a that's a loaded question. I think I can't really speak for me. I mean, how I approach it is how many people in the world are able to experience this crowd. And for one, I'm living my dream. This is what I dream to do. Become a professional tennis player, play against the best, be on the best courts, and they're full. So how many people in their lives, even on tour, are able to really experience that? So for me, I'm always super grateful because they're able to heighten my experience and it's definitely a give and take. Um I do my best what I can. People tell me that uh I'm a role model for people back home. I do my best to put on my best attitude. I know that for a lot of the people, I'm known as like the Filipina on tour, and I'm the only Filipina that people really see in high level tennis. So when they think of the Philippines in regards to tennis, they think of me. So I really do my best to be on my best behavior, represent the best of the Philippines, and yeah.
Well, you do a great job. I mean, in looking through this, I mean, it's insane to me that you go from, 140 last year, just 12 short months ago, to now there's, collaborations with Nike with, the national flower as a logo. So you can say you feel lucky, but also like it seems like you're refreshingly aware that you are a bit of a cultural steward, but just trying to connect the dots because I can't relate to it at all. But a year ago, you wild card into the tournament, and now you're kind of making specialized logos with Nike and working with these brands. That's different.
Yeah. I think for me, it's really just all about balance. And I think what I'm trying to do is if I could master when I need to be quote unquote like arrogant or cocky or no, let's use the word confident. When I can if I can master the times I need to be confident and then I'm aware of the times I need to be humble and grateful, I think that's an amazing recipe because I'm able to compete, I'm able to do my thing on the court, but then I'm also aware of how I am, the responsibilities I hold off the court, what I represent, and I think that just makes a great mix.
Talk a little bit about your backstory for fans. You are a trailblazer. You're a pathbreaker by definition, though. That means there wasn't much before it. You were once described to me, by the way, as the one. You were the sister of the kid who played for Penn State. So you've come a long way. Now you're a top 30 player. You were introduced by your brother as a. But tell us a little bit. How do you discover tennis in a country that doesn't have much of a tennis history? How did you end up at the Nadal Academy? Just sort of give fans out there just a brief sense of your backstory.
So I have a brother, an older brother. He's 3 years older, and he played at Penn State. He was the one who first got into tennis. With my grandfather. So my grandfather was my coach. I started tennis at 3 or 4 until I left for Spain, which was at 13. So 10 years my grandfather was our coach. He had no formal training whatsoever. He read a lot of books. His time was like Pete Sampras, all of that. He read a lot of those tennis magazines. So if you see my my like technique when I was like 12, like it was wonky and but yeah, so it was really a family thing. And it was a very tough love kind of situation, but I think what I learned most in those years was really the foundation of being a good competitor was, it's that fighting spirit, it's that grit. And yeah, tennis was never very popular. We always had to, it was very costly. My parents, of course, sacrificed a lot of time and effort. My grandfather was costly because you had to travel all the time if you wanted to compete at such a level, even at juniors, even 14 under. Um, and so when the opportunity came for me to train abroad, I took it. I took it with both hands, and I clung to it. Yeah.
What does that look like, though? I mean, we hear this in tennis sometimes. People say, well, like, I went to train abroad. I mean, you're moving at 13 years old across the world to play tennis and to learn how to be a better tennis player. Like, were you intimidated, or was it just all excitement because you don't know any better at that point in your life? Do you remember your first day at the academy and kind of what you were thinking and feeling when you got there?
Yes. Well, more than that, I remember the day it was brought up to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I won Les Petitas, which is the 14 under tournament in France. And so the academy reached out to my parents. And I remember my dad was driving me to school. And he brought it up in the car kind of casually. I was probably like 12. And I thought it was so like absurd. I thought it was just something like, okay. But if the opportunity, I found out the opportunity was actually serious. And I was like, yes. I was like, for me, yes, 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 I'll go, I'll go, I'll go. And my parents were like, okay, let's talk it through. Like, we still have things to decide. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what there is to decide. I'll just, like, of course, yeah. But so it was definitely a little bit of I didn't know any better. And then I went, and I was already, of course, it was a huge change of scenery. Everything is different, but I was fortunate enough to be relatively well traveled by that age, and I already had this rigorous routine of tennis training, school. Like I would wake up at 4:45. I'd be in the gym at 5 till 6, and I was like 11. I was 5 till 6, and then I'd go to school at 7:30, and then until 3 p.m., and then I'd go training at 5 to 7, homework, dinner, repeat, you know. So I already had that rigorous schedule. And I remember I came to the academy and training started at 8. And I was like, oh,
You can sleep
I
in.
have so much time. I can sleep in.
It's like a weekend.
Yeah. But then now I look back at it and I'm like, oh my goodness, I moved out at 13. You know, like that's insane. But it did help. I was with my brother. The academy, of course, is built for those types of situations where there are young kids, you know, boarding, and my parents were, you know, flew in quite frequently, so it made it easier. Yeah.
You go to the Rafa Nadal Academy. Do you remember the first interactions, the first time you practiced next to Rafa? Any takeaways? What was that relationship like? How involved is he with the juniors there?
Yeah, so the first interaction with Rafa, like in the academy space around that time, was not actually in the academy. So before of we did like a trial, like we'd go there, like do like 1 week, we'll see how it goes, you know. So my parents and my brother and I, we flew over, and in the Madrid airport, we just happened to pass by Rafa on the way to his academy, and we kind of chased him down. We were like, Rafa, we're going to your we're going to your academy. Can we take a pic? And yeah, he took a pic with us. So that was the first interaction I remember um in Spain. So good way to start, I would say. And then after that, I don't really remember. It kind of just he's there a lot. He's very down to earth when you talk to him, of course. But and he asks questions and things like that. But it's just he's Rafa, so you're always just gonna be scared. Like I'm always like still scared. Um, I don't know what to say. I always get very like very tongue tied. So yeah, I'll let you know. It doesn't get better, at least for me. It doesn't get easier, at least for me.
That's
Yeah.
I love that. I felt the same way. I was always like fine, and then I couldn't talk to Sampras or Agassi for the first 2 years I was on tour. Like
Okay.
the only time I would stop talking was when I was around them.
Can I ask you? You are new. You know, you're a relative newcomer, but also the Filipino fan base is a newcomer as well. This is not a fan base that we're used to. One thing some of us have noticed, they're very polite. I don't know if you catch that on the court, but they're applauding your opponent. There's never any sort of booing. There's never any arguing about calls. It's a very sort of happy fan base, it seems. Tell us a little bit about what you are experiencing. Apart from you're amazing, but can I have a selfie? What are you hearing? Just tell us a little bit more about all these people that are rooting for you.
Um, I don't really know what to say. Filipinos are really amazing, I have to say. I have not met another. I have yet to cross paths with another nationality that's so um that has that sense of community. I don't know how to describe it. It's like if you walk past another Filipino on the street, like you'll know that they're Filipino right away. And um yeah, there's never like any booing. I don't think that's not our thing. That's never been our thing. I think we're there as a community because we have this shared sense of pride of being Filipino, and I think seeing other Filipinos succeed makes us so happy. For example, when Manny Pacquiao was, you know, still very active, when he'd have fights, it was like a holiday. Like crime rates would go down, everyone would gather, you know, the families would gather, they'd have parties and stuff. So yeah, we're very nationalistic, I guess. We're proud of where we're from.
I
Yeah.
love that. And I love it. It fills me with pride. I know it's hard. We're asking you to kind of be objective about your life right now. And I know that can be hard sometimes, but I'll tell you, like, just hearing you talk in the way that you kind of relate to what you're going through, it fills me with pride as someone who's been in tennis for a long time. And especially now that you're bringing an entirely new country fan base and making them tennis diehards. I want to say thank you and congratulate you for that.
Thank
It's just phenomenal. And I think that I speak for
Thank
Tennis
you.
Universe. I think we're all so proud. I do
I
want
really
to kind of
appreciate that.
let's set the kind of phenomenon aside for a second. And let's talk about kind of the interplay between that and then, listen, all of these things can be amazing, but you still got to wake up and go to work, right? What is the relationship between new responsibilities and, hey, listen, I might fill the seats, but I still have to try to win a match, right? Has that been an easy transition for you? Is it pretty simple? Once I'm on the court, I'm on the court.
I think, well, like I mentioned before, that it was all about balance. And I think one thing about me is that I know when I need to like lock in. I know when I need to like, okay. And I know when I'm slipping a little bit. And I think one of the keys to this past year's success is also that I have a really great team. And we work so well together. We create this amazing environment, and they guide me in the right direction, and they keep me humble. I think, yeah. And when I'm on court, I'm still really motivated. I think when I'm having fun and I'm learning to enjoy the grind, enjoy suffering. Yeah, I think it's a recipe for success, hopefully.
When someone breaks out like you have, right? In Miami last year, yeah, we've mentioned the players that you beat. Maybe going into the match, they didn't know the scouting report was, she accepts pace well and she can switch directions at a moment's notice and kind of keep you weren't letting the big hitters hit, right? Maddie was wanting to line up for forehands and you were switching directions, and it was very effective. How have you had to deal with now the second time through the lineup? Whoever you play at Miami this year, it's a little bit different, right? They know generally a game style. So has it been fun to kind of learn and have to make adjustments based on a scouting report that's out there? And that works both ways also.
Yes, I do enjoy a tactical game. I love I love tennis because it's super physically demanding. It's a very physical sport, but it's not only that. Like it's very emotional. It's super tactical. Um, and in that sense, I love tennis because of that. Because there's just so many things that make it unique, and it's kind of all you. You know what I mean? When you're all, I think it is all you because you're out there, you're alone. Um, and yeah, this year, I guess coming into this tournament, people will know me a bit more. There's more videos of me on the internet. Um, but that happens at all tournaments. A lot of people, I've gotten that question a couple times. Like now in going into Miami this year, people will know you. And last year they didn't know you. But it's like that now every tournament. Like in Indian Wells, they knew me. In Dubai, they knew me, So Miami is so special to me because this is where everything kind of clicked. But at the same time, it's a tournament. It's another tournament. Things, I have that experience. I have experience of playing tournaments. So um anything can happen. I could go out, I could win the whole thing. I could go out, I can lose the first match. And if I don't get the win here, I'll get it in some other place. So
I love that. On the subject of that sounds so balanced, and I
know,
also heard
you're so
something,
mature. How old are you?
Exactly.
Actually, like 47?
This is one of these.
Oh my gosh, she's like, she just
Old
answers
soul.
everything correctly.
Old soul is right.
Goodness.
Wait, I heard a story. I have no idea if this is true, but truth doesn't always stop us on the Surf podcast. But I heard you were asked to stick with me here and tell me if to disabuse me if I'm wrong here. But I had heard at the beginning of the year you were asked about your goals, which is sort of the cliched question. And one of your goals was apparently being more social with your colleagues. Assuming how's that going for you? Assuming that's true, how's that working
I
out?
think it's going great. I think it's going really good. Yeah.
Name them.
I think
Who
it's going
are
great.
your friends out there?
Okay. Yeah, I was literally just talking to Evalis and Zainab Tonmes. I practiced today with Vicky Mboko. She's a great friend of mine. Um, Francesca Jones. She texted me when I forgot to mention her in one of my other interviews. So okay, Fran. The half Filipinas. Sab Santa Maria. Desiree is a good friend. I could keep going on, and I'm so sorry if I missed anybody. But I love you guys.
No,
Yeah.
we'll just edit and voiceover.
Yeah,
It'll be
just
fine.
edit, just
AI
like
can
put
do
the whole
AI can just send us a
WTA
list. We'll
roster.
just the next episode
Yeah.
will just be a list of
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
of friends. It's interesting because I'm not trying to grandstand here, but like I try to turn back the clock, and for people trying to understand the last year, asking questions that aren't simple, right? They're not easy. You seem relatively at ease with everything that's happened. Where does that come from? Like who is that? Are your parents similar, or is this just something that I'm reacting to and I'm enjoying?
I think I just try to find the healthiest way to deal with all of this, because I feel like so many things can go wrong, but at the same time, kind of like it's all about balance. Like it is a big deal when I want it to be, and at the same time, like it's not really a big deal because at the end of the day, I get to do what I love, and I feel like I've come such a long way. I think it just comes from because of the fact that I'm super proud of myself, and I'm really happy with what I've been able to do so far, and I know that I still have so much potential to go forward, and I'm looking to go. I'm really working for it. Um, yeah, I think it's a lot of gratitude. I've come a long way. For the first 10 years of my tennis career, I was training in a court that was like half basketball. I, so yeah, and now I've played on Wimbledon center court, which is like my ultimate dream, aside from winning Wimbledon. Yeah, so I'm really grateful. Yeah.
These will be a little bit easier. Very simple. If there's a player from the past, actually your friend, you mentioned Sonmez, she was on with Kim Kleisters, who has a show on our channel last week, and she was saying that she wishes her and Kim would have played it. Pick one past player and one current player that you have not played yet that you look forward to playing or wish you could have played from the past.
I have to say Serena Williams.
Ooh, you might get that chance.
I was going to say you might get that chance.
I don't know. If I was a betting man, I'd say she's going to be in sometime this week. But yeah, Serena's the
Could I
go
do
for sure.
two from the past?
Yeah, sure. You can do whatever you want.
Okay. I'll do Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova.
Amazing. And what about now? Who do you look forward to play? Like, just results aside, right? We all want to, make the semis and have those great matchups until we get to, semis, finals, whatever. But if there was a player in the draw that you played and maybe it wasn't an easy match, who would you want to play that you haven't played yet?
Sabalenka, of course. I think everyone wants to play the number one in the world. I almost had the chance last year. It's exactly what my coach told me in the semifinals before I played Jessie, and he said, Alex, you're in the semifinals of a Master of Miami nonetheless, and you're playing for a spot to play against the number one in the world. So this is where you want to be. I was like, yeah, this is where I want to be. Almost. I almost did. So maybe this year.
JW, listen, you've been so generous with your time. We don't get a lot of active players that might have to play a tournament in the next couple of days. So super gracious of you to come on. JW, you got anything else before we let Alex Eala go?
I want to thank you, but I also want to thank your family. I feel like we owe your parents a standing ovation. You're doing great. No, I mean, I think one thing that I like to ask players is just what has to happen for you to be happiest on the tennis court? I mean, what's sort of what is everyone, winning Wimbledon, fine, but like when are you at your happiest in this career?
If I'm being transparent, winning helps a lot.
Yep.
Winning really helps a lot. It's difficult to be super happy when you're losing, but if I were to say anything aside from winning, it would just be to see the progress, to see that, the work you're putting in is helping you become a better player. So if you can see that transition from practice to match, and you see that you're becoming a better player and you're feeling it on court, then that makes you happy. because you see that you're progressing.
I'm hearing her say, and I'm thinking you're going to keep playing, and I think you're going to find that your Filipino fan base is going to stay consistent. But I think you are winning a lot of fans throughout tennis. We have big courts in your future.
The parts of your game that if you're looking back in Miami 1 year from now and you're saying, you know what, I would be really happy if these parts of my game were improved, or if I was doing these one or two things better.
I think if I look back at Miami last year, one would be my serve. Another would be, if you have any tips, Andy, I'd love some.
I'm available anytime.
I think another would probably be, I can't remember how much I went to the net last year, but I would say maybe net game I could use a bit more. Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Listen, we've said it already. You've been a gift to tennis, and you're pulling all of those fans with you. And I hope you realize how great it is. It sounds like you have an amazingly mature perspective. Makes me feel worse about myself at your age, frankly. But continued success. All the best, and I'm so happy that you're able to enjoy it along the way. Just congratulations and the best of luck moving forward. Thank you for joining us on Serve.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Good luck.
Thanks.